Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Sir.
Siapa aja nih? Ada Habil, Arpah, Nasriani, Desri, Mutia. Alright. Well, how is the exam? Examnya gimana? Bisa ya? Eh, Mudah-mudahan nilainya bagus untuk exam. Saya belum lihat semua. Well, eh, saya mau screen share dulu. Okay, so today we are in our new topic. Ya, hari ini kita masuk topik yang baru, KD yang baru. It's about narrative text. Jadi topiknya tentang narrative text. So I'm not going to tell you what narrative text is and how to write the narrative text, because you already get about this when you were in in the middle school. Waktu SMP juga udah belajar tentang narrative text, I believe. So the focus of the narrative text for our meetings for this semester is basically about how you are able to analyze the characters, the moral message or the universal value which are in the text, in the stories. Jadi untuk materi narrative text kita akan fokus dengan characters, plots, and then the moral message atau the universal values, nilai universal yang ada di dalam ceritanya. You are going to read more, you are going to analyze more text for these topics. I believe we are going to have like 4 meetings about these topics, ya, tentang narrative text ini akan ada 4 meetings. So the first meeting, which is today, we are going to talk more about the basic ideas of the figures in the famous figures in the story writing, especially about storytellers and stuff. And then the second meeting we are going to talk, which is next week ya. Second meeting nanti kita akan bicara tentang how to analyze the characters, the plots, the universal values in stories. And then yang minggu ketiga, you are going to present your own analysis and your own research about that. Minggu keempat, we talk about the storytelling. And then the last week is all about, you tell your own stories. Jadi akan lebih ke storytellers-nya, presentation. Ada 2 presentasi untuk topik ini. Yang pertama nanti mengenai tentang analysis of the stories. Yang kedua, pick your own stories. And then you tell your story. Storytelling. Nah, jadi as I told you that you are going to read a lot for this. What you are going to read basically is all about the stories. Jadi nanti saya akan kasih link untuk beberapa buku cerita yang bisa kalian baca untuk assignment-nya nanti. Alright, so and let's talk about this one. You know that Indonesian problem, one of the Indonesian problem, especially the teenagers is about, the literacy. Reading is always becoming our, issue. When you're a child, when we are, very young, I don't know whether our parents guide us to read books. I don't know about you. Um, you know, so but maybe we start, reading some stories or from books when we are in maybe elementary school or maybe in the middle school or we just started in the high school. Macam-macam kan orang mulai bacanya kapan, mulai suka baca itu kapan. So can you please write or type in the chat box, what's your favorite book? Kan kalau baca buku atau cerita, cerita apa yang paling suka? Just mention one name, dude. Coba, what books do you like to read? Or what is your favorite books? Or stories? Kan ada macam-macam. Ada yang Cinderella, ada Mulan, ada, about the legend. Apa tuh? Come on. Jana, what is your favorite book? By the way. Halo? Suara saya kedengaran atau enggak sih?
Kedengaran, Sir.
Yeah. So what's your favorite book? By the way. Or do you like reading books? Or do you like watching? Which one do you like the most? Watching or reading books? Nah.
Watching, Sir.
Watching. Okay. What movie? Film apa? Biasanya. Drakor?
Action, Sir.
Action. Is it limited to drama, Korean drama, or every kind of movie?
Movie, Sir.
Yeah. All right. So you don't like reading books? Not really. Yeah. Cool. Well, we are going to read. There's a text today. You're going to read a text about the brothers Grimm. This is the text, only 3 paragraphs. You're going to read a text, and then you are going to try to answer the questions about the text. So how you are able to analyze the text and summarize the text in mind map. Yeah. So let's start with this text first. Saya minta si Mutia. Mutia is there? Mutia Azmi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mut, please, can you read this text for me? The first paragraph.
Yang pertama, sir.
Yes, the first, yang pertama. Kemudian dilanjutkan sama Arpa, and then Adelia, yang ketiga. Come on.
The Grimm brothers tells reflect traditional life and belief.
No, ya, this one, nak. The Brothers Grimm yang ini, yang pertama, nak.
Okay, sir. The brothers Grimm. One, Jacob and William Grimm were two young men from Grimm,
Germany.
Germany, who loved a good story. As university students, they become interested in folk tales, traditional stories that people
Memorize.
memorize and told again and again. They began to collect traditional folk tales.
Yeah, they began to collect traditional folk tales from mana nih si Mutia? Kelihatan, Mut?
Kelihatan, sir.
Yeah.
From
Sorry. Folk tales.
Folk tales from storytellers all over Germany. Many were similar
This one were. Many were similar. Similar.
Similar to stories told in France, Italy, Japan, and other countries. Between 118
1812.
and
18, no, 18. Bacanya 18. 1814.
1814, the brothers published two books in German. These include stories like Hansel and Gretel and Little Red Riding Hood.
Riding Hood. Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood. The collection became known in English as
English.
in
English.
English as Grimm's fairy tales.
Okay. Well, you have two titles. Ada dua titles ini. Two titles of the stories. What are the titles, Mut? Apa? What are the titles of the story? Judulnya apa? Storiesnya. Yang ini dua story yang terkenal itu. What are the stories, Mut? Apa aja story-nya, Mut? Judulnya? The title, the judul, title.
The Brothers Grimm.
No, not the title of this text, tapi judul bukunya yang ditulisnya.
Oh, Hansel and Gretel and Little Red Riding Hood.
Ya, Hansel and Gretel and Little Red Riding Hood. Have you do you know about these two stories?
Enggak,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, you never heard about this? Nggak pernah dengar? Kok ini ya? Pernah dengar nggak?
Belum, sir.
Belum ya? Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood. Oke. Continue. Siapa tadi yang kedua? Thank you, Mot. Siapa tadi yang kedua? Proceeding second. Arpa.
Sir.
Ya, Pak, lanjut, nak. Darkness and Magic.
The Grimm brothers later
Tales.
reflected traditional life and beliefs.
Life and beliefs. Beliefs.
For example, forests are common in Germany. And this image often appears in the Grimm. And this image often appears in the Grimm's stories. In the past, many people believe forests
Believe.
believe forests were dangerous place. In the Grimm stories, a forest is the home of evil witches.
Evil.
Evil witches, which talking animals, and other magical beings.
Oke, what do you get from this one? Apa yang digambarnya? Apa yang biasanya ada? What are usually in the story? Yang biasanya ada di ceritanya si Grimm's Brother itu apa aja, Nak?
Magic, sir.
Magic. Terus apa lagi? Magic itu semejar, bukan? Apa lagi? Mana sih Magic? Nggak ada, dia. Belum bangun. Apa lagi selain Magic? Selain Magic apa lagi, Pak? Rifki, Marcel, gitu. Apa, Nak? Come on. Dari sini, dari teksnya apa aja tuh? Selain Magic, apa aja yang ada di yang appears? What image does appear? Yang muncul. What image appeared? What images? Apa aja image-nya yang appear, yang muncul in the stories? Satu tentang magic, and then what else? Nah,
Talking animals, sir.
talking animals, ya, animals yang bisa bicara. Good. What else?
Evil witches.
Evil witches. Witch.
Ya,
Penyihir, ya. Witch, penyihir. Nah, satu lagi, contohnya apa? I mean like the forest, kan? What people believe about the forest? Forest itu biasanya image-nya apa? In the story. How is the image of forest in the story? Biasanya forest itu image-nya apa di dalam cerita?
Dangerous
place.
Dangerous, and then
Horror.
Iya, horor gitu-gitu, menyeramkan, bahaya. Yeah. Okay, cool. Next is Adele. Next story, Adele.
Children's stories. Although most people today think of these stories as fairy tales for children.
Fairy tales.
Tales for children. The brothers first wrote them primarily for adults. Many of their early tales were dark and a little scary. Later, the brothers changed the text of some of the original stories. They softened many of the tales and add drawings. This made them more appropriate for children. Like the early tales, talk, each story still has a moral. Work hard, be good, and listen to your parents. Listen to your
not zen.
Listen to your parents.
Yeah, listen to your parents. Okay, so the stories change, ya. Ceritanya biasanya berubah. The first one dulu, I mean like in the past, dia buat ceritanya apa? What is the story about? I mean, what is the story for? Untuk siapa ceritanya dulu dibuatnya? For adults. Ya, adults, untuk orang yang lebih dewasa. But then he changed the story for children. Okay. Good. Jadi biasa ceritanya berubah dari yang untuk yang adults and then become the children story. What did he do? What did they do to change the story? Apa yang dibuatnya biar bisa berubah tadi, Nak? Ditambahinnya apa? Apa? What did he do to make it appropriate for children?
A drawing, sir.
With drawing, they ate some drawings and stuff. Good job, good. Nah, kita masuk ke sini. So let's talk about the first one. Who were the brothers Grimm? Jadi siapa tadi brother Grimm itu? From the text yang kita baca.
A man from Germany, sir.
A man from Germany. What did they do? Mereka ngapain? Apa pekerjaannya? Profesinya apa? Tadi di sini. Yeah, good job. A man from Germany. Yeah, there are two young men from Germany. Apalagi yang ini? Dia ngapain? What did they do? Kenapa dia bisa muncul bisa dijadikan pembahasan? Apa sih yang dikerjainnya? What did they do? You got it? Apa ini, Nak? Look. They were writers, right? Kan mereka penulis. They're writers. Kan they write story. They wrote stories, so they're writers. What kind of stories did they write?
Folk tales, sir.
Folk tales. Yeah, they write folk tales. Who are the stories for? Storiesnya untuk siapa? Who are stories for? Untuk siapa tadi storiesnya ditulis? The stories is for
Children.
For children. Yes, the story is written for children. All right. Let's talk about this one. Masih ingat tadi ceritanya tentang gimana? Look at this one. Nah, the Grimm's first tales, origin of stories, collected tales from German. Dari mana diambil ceritanya, Nak? How he got the inspiration?
Traditional stories, sir.
The traditional stories from which country? Dari negara mana?
France, Italy, Japan, and other countries.
France, Italy, Japan, and other countries. Nice, good. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the things that we do for today. Yeah. So basically, what we can conclude that there are two figures which is very famous. There are two famous people, famous writer. If you talk about the narrative stories, ada namanya Brothers Grimm. They write about folk tales and taken from other, taken from other countries. The purpose is because they love readings, and then the purpose is because they love reading, they love good story, and then they want to, to make it read, to make it, spread it from generation to generation. Gitu. Jadi biar tetap terus ceritanya ada di setiap zaman, so they write, they collect it, and they write it, and then they make it in a book so people can just read it. Well, now what you're going to do for next week, I want you to start thinking of one story. Ya, try to think one story. Coba pikirin satu cerita. It could be national, it could be international. Contohnya apa aja? Misalnya kayak Cinderella, for example. You also have like kalau Indonesia di Sumatera Utara ada apa ya? Lake Toba, for example. So try to think one story. Ya, coba nanti pikirin satu story, and I want you to come next week, ya, next meeting, I want you to come with one title. Like everyone should come with one title. For example, kayak misalnya contohnya si Imam, when I ask Imam, what's your story, and then Imam will come with one title. Nanti sebutin satu judul aja. The stories that you like. It could be national or international. It could be legend. It could be about the fables, boleh fable, boleh legend, legenda. Feel free. Okay? So we are going to discuss about that, and next week we are going to talk more about how to analyze the characters, plot, and then the universal values from a story. Therefore, I want you to come with one title. Jadi biar lebih gampang untuk ininya, untuk practice the characters and stuff. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that's all for today. I think enough. Lanjut matematika ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a good day.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bentar, Sarah kita aja.